Are you ready for this?
I am gonna have to be.
It's a high stress thing.
High stress. Okay, I've never done anything like this.
Really?
Well, I probably have, but it's been a while.
No stress.
You have to.
Much better.
Here we are for another edition of Boast About It, Christmas edition, although this is January when you're seeing this. I'm here with Melina Turk. Now, Melina, first welcome.
Thank you.
I met Melina because in 2008, long time ago, we had a tournament and we would go to Bermuda every year. And in the pandemic, it ended. And as soon as the pandemic sort of lightened up, I tried to get it going again. I couldn't get it going. And then Melina got a gig in Bermuda. Melina rebooted the tournament. And we had one for the first time last year. And it was awesome. So thank you.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. It was a good time. But before we get to talk about the awesome tournament, let's talk about you.
Okay.
So, Melina, you were a pro for a little while. And my understanding from my research is that you cheated.
I cheated.
You cheated because your parents are squash players.
Parent.
One of your parents is a squash player. He was a squash pro, I think in Jonathan Power's time?
Yeah, he was the Canadian national coach, men's national coach, while Jonathan was competing. And Graham Riding and Shihir Razik, so.
And before that, he was a player in his own right.
Yeah, so he was a player, he was one of the top players in Canada, and then he was playing for Team Canada and he started to become the player coach. So he would play and coach the rest of the team and then eventually went into just the coaching role.
Was he Jonathan Power's coach as well?
He wasn't his personal coach, but he was his coach while they were away competing for Team Canada. Yeah.
So that's the last time Canada had a number one.
Yes, North America, I think.
Yeah, that's
For sure,
the
right?
only time.
Yeah.
Has there been another North American number one?
Not that I can think of, no.
Jonathan Power's the only one, right?
Yeah.
Legend.
Legend.
Anyway, so you cheated because you were from a squash family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your brother plays squash.
He does, yeah.
He's on the pro tour.
Yeah, he's playing for Team Canada now.
He's playing for Team Canada now,
Yeah.
which is it still coached by your father?
No, he retired over 10 years ago from the national coaching role, and then retired from coaching in general because he was a squash pro at a club in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
But he did come back for one tournament, I think, 2 summers ago, the Pan Am Championships. They went down to Peru and he coached Team Canada while my brother was on it. So.
Is he still playing himself?
Not so much. He had a knee replacement 2 years ago, I want to say. So he gets on court a little bit with my brother and I, and does some coaching and plays some hardball doubles.
Hardball doubles,
yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. When you can't play squash, you play hardball
Hardball
doubles.
doubles, yeah. Makes
Hey,
sense.
no shade to hardball doubles.
So I'm
Hardball
not gonna see him in Perth for the World Masters tournament.
You know what? No, you won't. But I did have a conversation with him recently, and I said that I would love to go play World Masters. I can't yet, but in the next couple years, I'll be, I think, over 35. Yeah, so I'll be 35 next year, and he'll be 65. So I did say one of these years, him and I should go play.
Come on, come on.
Not Perth, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't know where the next one. It's not been announced actually, so no one knows where the next one is.
Yeah.
But I will see you wherever it is after Perth, which will be more convenient to get to because
Australia is a trek.
Well, Australia's a trek, and Perth is probably the most difficult major city to get to in Australia.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So you grew up playing squash and you went pro.
Yeah, I did college squash, and then I went pro.
Oh yeah, you were in Dartmouth?
Second, yeah.
You were on the Dartmouth team. I think you were playing 1 or 2 on the team, right?
Yeah, I played mostly 2. Well, actually, I started kind of lower on the ladder and then got up to mostly 2 I played. I did play 1 for a stint, and then, Yeah.
And then back to 2.
And then back to 2, yeah.
And then but then you went pro.
Then I went pro, yeah. Yeah.
Tell me, how
Still
was
had
that?
itch. It was a lot of fun. It was a grind. I was coaching to fund my career.
Personal
So-
one-on-one coaching?
Yeah. So I started off in Westchester. So I worked at a club in Mamaroneck. And so I was pretty much full-time coaching, and then I would take off and play a tournament and then come back and full-time coaching. So it was a grind for sure. Then I moved back up to Calgary.
And you were
And-
still on tour?
Still on tour, and I was basically doing the same thing, but it was a little bit cheaper there and a little bit, had a little bit more support.
A little closer to your family's in Winnipeg. right?
Family's in Winnipeg, yeah, so a little closer to family. I did live with family. I lived with my dad's twin brother, who was also a squash pro. So really runs in the family. So I lived with them and worked at a squash club there and traveled and played the tournaments, but probably only, I want to say I only did 3 years.
But you broke into the top 100.
I did, yeah. I believe 88 was my
Yeah, that's what I saw online.
Yeah.
Number 88 is kind of a nice number.
Yeah, easy to remember.
Easy to remember.
Yeah.
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 So you've said the word grind a few times now. I think you probably said it 5 or 6 times in the
Yeah.
last couple of sentences. Is that why you stopped?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to work full time while you're playing because you're training really hard, but it also just feels like you're not giving it your all because you're spending so much time and energy trying to make the money to pay for the flights to the tournaments.
So was it financial? I mean, if you had been sponsored, would you have kept going?
Yeah, I think it would have been a different story.
Oh,
Yeah.
bummer.
Yeah. And I mean, I could have, put a little bit more time and effort into trying to find that sponsorship. But I think I ultimately just decided I'm just going to move on.
Yeah.
And
But that's
still
hard.
compete, but just not full time on the PSA.
Yeah, I mean, I think that appears hard to me if you're going to
Yeah.
you're going to try to be the best squash player you can be with all of that training. You're thinking about nutrition, you're talking about fitness, you're talking about skills, you're talking about all of these things. And then you have to think, I'm also a business person, I've got to go out and raise funding
Yeah.
and figure out that
Yeah.
that seems a stretch.
Yes, exactly. And my business person skills were not exactly there. So it was easier for me to just work hard
Yeah.
and make money through like coaching
Yeah.
than it was to go look for sponsorship. Like that was
Yeah.
uncomfortable for me. So I
Yeah.
kind of just avoided that and then just worked extra hard. But yeah, it's just tough. I know a
I
lot
think
of
that's
squash
very
pros
hard.
can
I don't-
relate when
yeah.
they're coaching and then they try to compete.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
We have a guy here who's trying to do that at the moment.
Yeah.
But, I don't think he's seriously trying to become world number 1.
Right.
He's just goes out, Pedro is his name, he goes out and
Yeah.
on tour every now and again, relatively local.
Right. Yeah.
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 I don't think he's going to the European or the Asian tournaments.
Right.
You know.
You never know.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
it's tough. Yeah. It's expensive.
So your career has sort of moved a little bit away from coaching and more to operating these facilities. Like some people go on and coach, but
Yeah.
you've been operating clubs. You were in, I love this because they're so different. If I've got it right, you were in Toronto, then you were in that metropolis known as Yellowknife, and then you were in Bermuda, basically.
Yeah.
I think you were in Bermuda twice, but we'll ignore that
Yeah.
for a moment. So talk to us about, I think we probably all know what it's like to be in a club in a major metropolitan city, Toronto.
Yeah.
What is it like to go run a club in Yellowknife?
It was awesome. I love Yellowknife.
Can you, to this camera, can you describe Yellowknife? Because I don't think our audience understands what Yellowknife is.
Yeah.
I'll put a little map up so you can
You need the map. You need to see where it is.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's northern Canada. It's the Northern Territories. Just imagine Alaska, but to the east on the Canadian side of the territories up there.
And imagine how few people there are in Alaska. There's less
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah, yeah. population, Yellowknife population is 20,000.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, that is it the largest town in the Northwest Territories?
Yes, in the Northwest Territories, yeah. Yeah, the largest.
So think about that, right? The largest metropolis.
Like, by far.
The Northwest Territories are effectively a province. They're a territory, not a province, which is some mechanical political difference. But you can think of them as a province or a state. And the largest town is 20,000 people.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yeah, and like by far.
But
like
they
every other
have
place.
a squash center.
Yeah, and it's a like pretty big club. It's bigger than the club in Bermuda. Four courts.
And the last person that we interviewed here is from Milwaukee, which is definitely bigger than Yellowknife. They do not have a squash center.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Yellowknife is better than Milwaukee.
We love Milwaukee
Sorry,
too.
Milwaukee. I've never been there, but.
So tell us about I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Tell me about Yellowknife and the club there.
So the club is great. So it's 4 courts, and they just did a big expansion right before I moved up there. So I guess not just. It's been a couple of years now, but they added like 2 studios, like workout room studios for classes, like a big gym. They have a massive deck on the back, and they say it gets the best sunlight in Yellowknife, which, you know, is a very big deal. So they have, and it's got a bar and everything. Like, it's very social, super social.
How many members do you think they have?
So at the moment,
Well, just pick a peak number.
yeah, I want to say at its prime, it was 1,500 members.
Holy Maloney! Just for record, we have 2 squash centers in New York. We have 800 people. This is Yellowknife with 20,000 people.
Yeah.
There's 12 million people in New York. That's and
It's
you have
crazy. Like, it's
1,500 members.
Population.
Oh my God!
And because, I mean, a lot of them aren't squash players, but it does have the best gym basically in the city, or it did at the time, and all those workout classes. So it was, you know, pretty much the place to go for exercise in Yellowknife. So it had a lot of members that maybe weren't squash players, but still.
Well, I'm owning them as squash players.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they were a member of a squash facility.
That's true.
That's all I need to know.
There you go.
I don't need to. There's more detail than I need.
Yeah, yeah.
And you were helping operate that club, right? And you were coaching as well.
Yeah. So I was on the management team. There was about 6 of us, maybe 5 or 6 of us, that ran the club. And yeah, it was awesome. It's such a cool club. Very social.
Why'd you leave?
Bermuda came a knocking, and it was just too hard to turn down. It was like a little Canadian's dream to live on a tropical or subtropical island.
So let's just put the 2 together. You probably have some stats around this. How cold does it get in Yellowknife in the depth of winter?
Like, I mean, it's minus 20. That's normal.
That's centigrade or Fahrenheit?
That's Celsius.
Celsius.
But it's been minus 50, potentially minus 60 with the wind chill at times.
And in Bermuda, does it go below 60 Fahrenheit?
No, and it was probably about 65 a couple days ago before we left, and we were freezing. And I hate to admit it, but even I was complaining about the cold.
And is it that simple that it was just a tropical island and you're like?
Honestly, yeah. I really had no intention of leaving. I was kind of putting down roots in Yellowknife, and it was just one of those squash things where it's word of mouth, and it made its way to me, and I was like, well, this is something that sounds really cool. And I was, 25 or something.
No, you were already in a place that was really cool. This was really hot.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but for a Canadian, it's really cool to live somewhere hot. So yeah, I just couldn't. I looked into it, and it was kind of a fast, like, okay, do you want it? Are you interested? I was like, oh, well, I don't see how I can not do this. I'm 25 and single, and it seems like a cool opportunity. So yeah, I took it. And now I'm still in Bermuda. I mean, I did leave for a while, but
You went back again.
I went back again, so I guess it was a good move. It's a good spot.
And I saw that in 2024 you were the Bermuda squash champion.
Yeah.
And I know you worked there with Micah Franklin.
Yeah.
And then in 2025 I saw you lost in the finals to someone whose last name is Franklin.
That's his wife.
Did you do that on purpose to just make
Sure,
yeah
We'll
because
go
it
with
was his
that.
wife and you're just like that's your boss, so
Yeah.
so you're really number
Yeah.
one, but you let her win, right?
Exactly,
Because
yeah.
it's good political.
Yeah.
Nice job. Nice job.
Just kidding, Haley.
So you're still playing in tournaments.
Yeah. Actually, I just played in Guyana a couple weeks ago for the Senior Caribbean Championships, which was so much fun. That's like the big thing that everyone in the Caribbean
You
plays.
say
It's called
senior,
CASA.
but in the Caribbean, senior is under 35 still?
Senior is just not junior, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
They have
open.
junior
So it's
CASA
open.
and then senior
So anyone
CASA.
could have played in it.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was so much fun. It's the most squash that I've played, like competitively, in probably 5 years. I played like 6 or 7 matches
How'd you do?
in a week. I did okay. Yeah, I think I lost in the quarterfinals, in the individuals, and then in the teams. For the women, we only had 3 players, and you're supposed to have 5, so we automatically defaulted 2 matches against each team.
Oh.
But we still won 2 of our matches, so we ended up 4th.
Oh.
Yeah.
With 3 out of 5 players. That's
3 out of 5 players, yeah. So
pretty
all
great.
3 of us had to
I
win.
recommend you go back with 5 players.
That's the goal.
So now you're in Bermuda, and you have. I think there was some bubbling around from the Bermuda people, and you were getting emails from me about putting together our little tournament. Tell us from your perspective how that all went down.
Yeah, I knew about that tournament, but I had never played it. I was living in Bermuda when it was still going on, but I was actually at a different squash club, so I didn't play it. I didn't fully know about it at the time, but I knew that it was the exact type of tournament I love to run. And
Let's go through some criteria. What sort of tournaments do you like? What are the criteria?
the criteria is a heavy social aspect involved.
Yes.
Almost to the point where squash is secondary.
Squash is the vehicle for the social.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's my kind of tournament.
That's what this tournament's all about.
Exactly. So I was intrigued. I think I had even kind of started talking to Micah about I want to do something, and then of course I get an email from James Green.
Me?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but let's check it out. And then you were gung-ho on resurrecting this tournament, and we got on a call, and I was like, perfect. This is the push that I needed to actually just do this and not talk about it and just start it up and get it going. And I was a little nervous because, you got to kind of recruit people to come. And I do have a lot of contacts outside of Bermuda and squash, but a lot of people are like, yeah, that sounds great. We would love to come. I had
your back on that one.
Yeah, but then they don't follow through.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this makes me feel more confident because James has 7 teams that are already signed up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
basically the tournament's full.
Yeah.
So all I have to do is just organize the tournament.
Yeah.
So.
It's true. So when we did the tournament started like that, you probably don't know, back in 2008 when Pat Foster was the pro.
Yeah.
One of the guys from our club, the Printing House, emailed him and said, hey, my club's challenging your club. And it sort of started as an inter-club rivalry. And then they came back.
And that's why it was
challenged
the
us.
challenge, right?
Yes, that's why it was the challenge. And then it slowly grew, and at its peak, we had teams coming from Boston, Montreal, several from New York. We had some Toronto teams. We had a South African team. We had an English team. We had all of these teams that were coming.
Yeah.
And then it got shuttered.
Yeah. Everything got.
So then when it came back, I just was like, we obviously have 1,000 people here at Open Squash.
Yeah.
Though I should have known to recruit from Yellowknife because that has 1,500.
Well, yeah, actually, we have a Yellowknife team officially signed up as of yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I cannot wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just made sure that we got all the teams we needed to come, and it was great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
What
talk
a
us
time.
through. I think it was great, but what was the tournament like from your point of view? Tell us what it was like, because a lot of people won't even know.
Yeah, what was it like? So it's a team tournament. It's a 3-player team, and we gave the guidelines of number 1 player is around an A level, number 2 is B, and number 3 is C. I might need you to help me give the ratings, approximate ratings. We don't really use the rating system in Bermuda,
We were saying, and at the end of this, I'm going to give the punchline because people broke the rules. There's definitely one team that definitely
They
broke
know
the
who
rules.
they are.
You know who you are. I said A was 5 point. Your rating has to start with a 5, is A. B, your rating has to start with a 4, and C is 3.9 below. That's what I said here.
Yeah, but yeah, so team tournament. So we had the first round. It was all Bermuda teams versus overseas teams in the first round, and then obviously, as you go forward in the draw, you would play. Whoever wins moves forward. So we did about a match on Thursday, match on Friday, and then 2 on Saturday, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. And then outside of that, we had a big banquet dinner, which was super fun. So 3-course meal, wine, food, lots of drinks.
There might have been some
speeches.
drinking that happened.
Yeah.
Might have been.
There might have been a few espresso martinis. And then we had, on Friday, we had a big barbecue at we had catered food, I think, on Friday, and we just stuck around at the club. And then on Saturday, we had a barbecue, and actually my partner, Nick, kindly made hamburgers all night.
They were delicious.
He makes a mean hamburger.
Yeah.
They're so good.
And he runs a brewery, a local brewery, so there was beer from the brewery there too.
Yeah, so sponsored by Bermuda Craft Brewing.
Yeah.
And we had a keg of beer and drink as much as you want all night. And then we did that lightning tournament. It was super fun.
Oh, yeah.
I will have to say I stole that from Yellowknife. We used to do that in Yellowknife.
So the lightning tournament, you get on court, you have 1 point.
Yeah.
And the winner stays on court. So obviously you want to get on late. I didn't really appreciate that. I went on early.
Yeah.
Last.
Who was it? It was Alex that beat like almost everybody, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So the team that cheated, that clearly did not obey the rules, was the team that had Diego Elias, Lionel Cardenas, Pepe, I don't remember his last name.
Pepe de Frutos, Nikki Todd, Mitch Goldhar.
Mitch, who I think that's the only reasonable player they had on the team.
But even he played at number 3 and won all of his matches.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Probably could have been a number 2 player.
Mitch, I have decided that I'm a number 2 player. I'm playing number 3 in case you show up again, so that I can play.
Challenge has happened.
Yeah.
The challenge.
Yeah, it's a
what
challenge,
the tournament's
Mitch.
called.
Yeah.
There you go.
But so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so crazy to have, the world number 2. I don't remember where Lionel was, but he's certainly top 20.
Nikki Todd and Catalina.
And Catalina was number 1 ranked Colombian woman.
Yeah.
Nikki, I don't know what her ranking is in Canada now, but she was number 1.
Yeah, she plays on Team Canada still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was all one team. So they won.
Yeah.
But
we allowed it.
given that the entry fee was like $200 or $250, and we all got to be on court with these people, it was just it was amazing.
Worth it.
It was totally amazing.
Yeah, that was a little treat. I can't guarantee that for this year, but
No, fair enough. That's but
we'll
we'll
still
be
have fun.
here,
Yeah.
and there'll be a team from Yellowknife.
exactly,
And
they will be fun.
And if you want to have a team, you should register. I will put the link here on the screen so that you know where to go to register, and on Instagram and on YouTube I'll put it as the first comment so you can see where to register. You already have some teams. What are the dates?
The dates are May 28th to 31st, so it's the last weekend in May. It runs from Thursday to Saturday is the last matches, but we do a boat on Sunday, which I highly recommend.
Yeah.
Catamaran out into the sea and dock up and
Go
float
swimming.
around,
Yeah.
have some
Yeah.
beers, swim, snorkel, all the fun stuff. Yeah, so highly recommend staying till Monday if you can. Yeah.
Do you think you're now going to spend the rest of your life in Bermuda?
I don't know. It is tough to stay in Bermuda, like work permit wise, I guess immigration wise. And I don't know.
I don't know, but you're not ruling it out.
No, I'm not ruling it out. And I think this is probably very common for people, expats who go to Bermuda, is that you never plan to stay, and then all of a sudden 25 years later you're still there.
Right.
So that's kind of how it goes. You always kind of plan to go for a couple years, maybe it turns into 5, maybe it turns into 10, and then all of a sudden 25 years later you're like, holy smokes, I'm still in Bermuda. So we'll see.
Well, I'm glad that my friend base in Bermuda is expanding. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. My pleasure.
And thank you so much for coming down for the interview. It's great.
That was awesome.
It's awesome. Thank you.
I just want to obviously thank everybody for coming. I think it's day one, night one, and I already feel like this tournament's been a great success. This is the first time I'm running this tournament. It's probably the first time I'm running a tournament while working at the BSRA, so it's extra special for me. So I'm really grateful that everyone's here, both from Bermuda and from overseas. I want to first and foremost do a big shout out to James Green.
Yeah!
Because I met him for the first time tonight in person, but I heard from him probably a couple days after I started this job, and he really wanted to resurrect the Bermuda Challenge. And there's a little bit of history to it that I'm learning about. I'm new to the BSRA, but this tournament started in 2008, I believe, which I know from the shirt that James Green was wearing tonight. And it started as a Bermuda versus New York challenge. And there might be, is there more than one person that played that tournament here, or? Yeah, there you go. So there's more than one person who's been here from the start, which is very cool. And it slowly expanded to Boston, to Montreal, to Toronto, to London.
Correct.
More places, maybe? Yeah.
Peru.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so
It's coming
I'm still
to
learning
Peru.
about this tournament.
Right there. It's coming to Peru.
I also want to share a fun little story of the Scobas who met at this tournament in, remind me, 2012.
Hey.
Christina was living in New York. She came down for the Bermuda Challenge. She met Chris, who is Bermudian and lives here, and they're now married with a child.
Congratulations.
That's why their team's called the OG3. So it's a pretty special tournament, and I think, give yourselves a round of applause. And I feel like there's way more thank yous.
We just want to thank you, Melina. Thank you for running the tournament. Woo! Melina.